who should get the COVID-19 vaccine. Everyone in this room agrees that we should get it, but there are some specific considerations that we can go over. It might still be a short discussion, but that's fine. Has the government blown the impact of the pandemic out of proportion? Yes or no?
I think the answer is no, and this is why. Some people are saying, oh, they'll probably last a couple years. Some people are like, oh, 6 months tops. So because it's an unknown quality, we don't have the answers. It reminds me of the AIDS epidemic of the 80s. You heard about it in the news all the time as they discovered new things. And so it was an evolution of discovery. Some people think they overreact to everything, but I really don't think they did. I think that they tried to have doctors make the calls. The government pays a lot of money to keep old people alive. Had they had ulterior motives, they could have said, no big deal, and just let the old people pass away.
That being said, I do think the government has taken advantage of it. They say it's a relief bill and only 10% of it's relief and the rest of it's
pork.
I think they also use it to, playing on people's fears and people's ignorances. I see the way that, they weren't truthful with masks in the beginning.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
But there's no moral justification for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, they seem to think there was, in that they were preserving the mask for the frontline workers.
Except it wasn't even that effective. When a government official lies and says you don't need a mask versus a public official saying, hey, the healthcare workers are top priority for masks, please don't buy them, the effect is the same. People still buy masks. People still believe what they want. They don't trust the government because the government lies. And when the government tells the truth, they don't agree.
Yeah.
The general mistrust of government is because they're always justifying the ends by the means, but because they tell so many lies, nobody trusts them in the first place, and so it doesn't make a difference.
That whole mistrust is why some people don't want to get vaccinated.
Exactly. They've kind of shot themselves in the foot.
I've seen people react to anything in the medical community with distrust. Medical community, not just government, but usually both. The primary motive is fear. And so if a person has learned to operate on a fear mentality, they're going to react negatively to everything.
Yeah.
Almost without exception.
Would you say that if you take a snapshot of today and a snapshot of 20 years ago, would you say that fear mentality is more prevalent today when it comes to stuff like this, or more prevalent 20 years ago, or is it just constant? People are always just going to be mostly afraid.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Should I trust my health to someone who only cares about me for a couple of hours a week when I set an appointment, or should I trust my health to me who has lived with myself my whole life? I may not be as educated, but...
And it goes the other way too. You can have people who spend days, hours, months researching stuff on the internet rather than going to their doctor who's treated 100 cases just like this.
And I know exactly what to do. Yeah, you're right.
But back to the main question, should people get vaccinated?
Yeah.
My best guess is, I think it's a smart thing to do, weighing everything that I know and looking at the experts that I trust and the research that I've done. It makes sense for most people unless they have a valid reason not to. I